There was a problem with my calculations. That song, Pocket Full of Sunshine, got a pocket full of wood screws. It's not as catchy. Can't imagine why they didn't go with that version. Balls, what just hit me? Oh, scissors. Awesome team. Just got hit in the face with scissors. Had the tongue on the right side. Rude. Rude. Hi, hello. Oh, okay. Hi, hello. My name is Jen, and this is Walter, my 2020 Ram Promaster high roof 136-inch wheelbase cargo van. And I am doing a van conversion. Obviously. Okay, guys, so it is a cold day here in Michigan. It is a whopping 17 degrees. And if you listen carefully, you can hear the wind whipping around the van. My adhesive is finally giving out, probably because it's 14 degrees out. And my system to keep it in place obviously isn't working, so here we are. I also took some time, to carve this groove in here. These wires need to run through there to get to that blue spot is one of my lights. This is another light. So when I ran the wires, I didn't really think about that, so I had to troubleshoot, but this is the solution. I just I used a rat tail, I don't remember what it's called, thing. This is not important information. What I'm gonna be doing is basically starting in the middle. I want to run the first board down the center, I think. I'm going to do some playing with it just to see, if I'm running it down the center, what does that leave a board like here? If I have to get in there with a jigsaw and really F with it, I'm going to see. Love that wind. I'm going to see how I can best line it up so it goes around the fan. So first thing out the gate, I'm just gonna measure and see the width, not of the fan itself, but of where that cover is gonna slide in here, because that's really where I need to build to. And that's 14 inches. Okay. All of my boards are 3.5 inches. So conceivably, come with me here. Conceivably, 2 boards is 7 inches, 4 boards is 14 inches. So rather than running 1 down the middle like I was planning, I'll probably run 4. I'll just make the split right in the middle. And that way I don't have to jigsaw out around this. Also, I swear there's organization to these wires, but to do the ribs, I had to zip tie them, so they're just kicking it for now, but this will be all cleaned up once I have a ceiling. So this is our it's the downstairs bathroom, but it has a fan that vents outside, so it's our painting room. So I thought I was gonna go try to install these panels, but looking at them, they just still seem really dry. They don't seem to have much of a coating on them at all. And that's not really what I wanted. I had hoped these would still have the finish I wanted, like when it was wet. You can see that difference. Yeah, I was really hoping to get these installed, but I think I am going to need the polyurethane on the outside, which is really a bummer, but it's where we're at. gonna be as straight as I can make it, but who knows what that even means. So I've got these little, they're number 4 screws, so they're real small. And they're 3/4 inch. This is 1/2 inch, this is 1/4 inch. So they're gonna come right to the end. I didn't want to go any shorter than that. It might be too long, you guys. Well, my phone froze while I was trying to take footage of cutting. So I had to put it inside my shirt to get it warm enough. Cool. Sorry I didn't record that. No, I'm not. Anyways, I have cut this piece and okay, let's put you guys over here. What just hit me? Oh, scissors. Awesome team. Just got hit in the face with scissors. Jesus Christ. Okay. I thought I had a bigger pocket full of screws, you guys. What's that song? Pocket full of sunshine? Got a pocket full of wood screws. It's not as catchy. I can imagine why they didn't go with that version. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the rest of this length. So this board is 8 feet. If I'm cutting out a piece of this, it's 14 inches. Oh, hell yeah. It's so close. Okay. Okay. So where I cut this one, this solves a lot of problems. Where I cut this one gives me just enough space to actually make it to the end back here. So like this one, I'll obviously have to cut a piece, and it's going to be an adventure trying to figure out how to connect it because, oh my God. Blech. Okay. Figuring out how to connect it because obviously it doesn't reach to the end, and these end pieces are not right, for lack of a better term. So I'm gonna have to do a thing where these all meet. I'm gonna do my best not to have them meet in other places, but where they do meet, I need to figure out a system. So I'm thinking of just using like a real thin, like I've got some of this stuff. This is like 1/4 inch something or other, not even, maybe 1/4 inch. So if I cut a little piece and get it up behind here, I can screw in on either side, and that'll keep it from like making any kinds of crazy moves in the future. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the plan. Okay, we've established that I can't take you guys with me when I'm sawing outside because it's 15 degrees. So you're gonna kick it here. We'll be back. While I was standing in there, that there was a problem with my calculations, and what I said before about cutting out 14 inches doesn't necessarily make sense. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I think I'm wrong the first time, not the second time, because, oh no, I was wrong this time. This fits perfectly. Cool. Also, I'm the dumbest girl in school. I just realized that even if that piece hadn't had the tongue on the right side, rude. So this piece, I situate it here. In pretty good shape down at the end. Perfect. I don't know what's happening, guys. I didn't have any caffeine, I swear. I don't know what's going on. You. Could we just not for like a minute? Okay. Oh, good talk. I gotta pocket full of wood string. Okay, so it's taken a little bit of time. You can see I've made some progress. It's looking pretty good. So what I am doing for the lights is I am measuring 3 3/4 inches away from the edge of the rib. So 3 3/4 inches this way. I'm making just a tiny little mark. 3 3/4 inches away from this one and the front one. And I'm writing all my measurements on my hand like I'm in high school again because I don't feel like managing a piece of paper. And I've always got this. So, super sophisticated. So, what I'm gonna do is I will go back into the freezing cold garage and measure to the center, where I've made these marks. I'll measure to the center, and then that is where I'm going to drill out with this hole saw. This is 2.5 inches, and this is going to be pushing it because these boards are 3.5 inches, and this is 2.5, so I have 1/2 inch on either side. Shit. I'm going to be really lucky if this doesn't split. I'm going to be really lucky if this doesn't split. I might tape them. That's a thing, right? With some painter's tape to keep it from splitting. I'm going to do some Googling and a test, and then I'll try it. Okay. This actually didn't go too bad. I'm going to have to be careful with these because they're going to be real delicate. It really makes me think if I should have done thicker wood for the ceiling, but whatever. We're here now. Not too bad. So, the way these bad boys will work is I will wire them into all of this lovely crap hanging from my ceiling, and then this would be really helpful if you guys could actually see it, what I'm doing. Tucking the wires in, and then popping it in there. And those will be my lights. And then to get it down, I'll just pop them out. Not bad. Okay, you guys, I am losing light. But as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots in for my lights. I've got the wires all running through. I'm really cold and it's getting dark and I don't want to do this anymore. Day 2. Okay, guys, back in here for day 2 to get the ceiling done. I have kind of a plan. I'm not going to vocalize the plan. So every time I do, it turns out I'm wrong and I do something totally different. But loose parameters. I'm going to finish the ceiling on this side. Get as far as I can on this side because I don't think I have enough to do the whole thing. Get as far as I can on this side. Wire in the lights. And get the fan and skylight covers in. Also, just clean it up in here because you guys, it's a hot mess. There's just stuff everywhere and it's making me crazy. So, also that. Clean up. My battery's here. Hey, FedEx. That's exciting. Okay, so the issue I'm having is that as I line up the board, it's coming apart on this end or this end. So something's not totally square. Shocker. Okay. This is super annoying. Super annoying. Cool. I wasn't recording. Awesome. Anyways, what I was just saying was that I think I got it. It's lined up pretty well down here. It's a little bit off down at the front, but if one side or the other is going to be off, I would okay. I would prefer this end because this blue line down here across the front is where the wall is going to come up. So the wall will come to probably about here. So yes, there's a gap. I'll fill it with maybe some, I don't know what, we'll figure it out. But I'm much more concerned that this back end does, because that's like the middle of my living space. So that's what's going on. Okay, so I am wiring lights. I've got one in, it looks gorgeous. And then I am working on this one. So this was the end of this wire. This was the end of the one that snakes through the ceiling up here. So I've got just a boatload of wiring here. Now I want to leave some because I want to make it really easy for me to, if I need to pull this back out and mess with it, I want some extra, but I don't need this much extra. So first things first, I'm just gonna cut these guys. Boom, okay. Then I am going to strip these, and these wire cutters that I have are not great. That's what I get for choosing something because it was inexpensive. So I'm using a slightly smaller gauge to cut it and then the appropriate gauge to strip it. Oh, balls. And what I'm looking for in here is to see if there are any wires that I actually cut. That's how you know if you did it successfully. So I don't see any bits of metal in there. So I'm gonna say that one is good. So now I will do the negative. I'm doing like probably 1/3 of an inch on these. Same thing, I'm looking in here to see if I see any wire. I don't see any bits of copper in there, so boom. One thing worth mentioning when you are running your electrical, I initially had gotten wire strippers like this that have the different sizes. You're supposed to be able to just like clamp it down on the wire and then pull off the excess. I mean, it worked kind of, but I had quite a few where I wound up cutting some of the copper strands in the wire. So halfway through this process, after I did all of my lights, excellent, I did pick up a pair of wire strippers. It does have crimpers down here as well, but wire strippers specifically for this purpose, and they are, I swear, the easiest thing on the planet to use. You literally put the wire in like this, don't drop it, and it's done. There's no blades involved, so you're not gonna cut any of your wire. This is a much cleaner proposition than what I was doing, which, well, there's a thing on that, which was crimping around and then stripping. Like even that one, I've done this quite a few times, and you can see the little copper strands here. You can't. A little copper strand there. Hi, he's right there. So even with that, I stripped a couple of those wires. So an infinitely better choice is this new tool, which you can set the distance that you want it to be. Pop it in there. Boom. So much easier. Get one of these. Now I'm just gonna twist these a little bit so they're easier to handle. And I'm gonna grab one of my lights. And they very nicely got each of these labeled with the positive. So, and the wire is already stripped, which is super awesome, and already twisted, so it makes it really easy for me to work with. And then I'm just using these little lever connectors, which I don't know if I talked about before, but they're pretty awesome to use. You can see through them, which is, oh, getting reflection, I'm sorry. You can see through them, which is pretty cool. Cool, I hope that's not broken. Wonderful. So, as you're looking at it, you can kind of see that little clampy guy in there where it comes up at the top. So when you open this, I have opened up a pathway for the wire to come in, and then when I shut it, and I'll show you, we're doing positive. I'm gonna trip on things, that'd be great. I'm gonna feed this way in, and then snap that down. I can see the wire in there, and this is secure. Awesome. So now I'm gonna do the same thing with the positive wire here. I'm gonna carefully, this is a little bit more tricky because it's a smaller space and I've got more wires to deal with. Slide that in there, snap it closed, boom. I will do the same thing with the negative. Click that in. We're tracking it from the wrong side. There we go. Slide that in and boom. And then I am just gonna tuck I'm gonna snap my fingers in it like a freaking mousetrap. Boom. You can't even see it because I'm out of frame. Boom. The next one I'll do actually in frame. I got lights. So all in all, I had a lot of fun doing the ceiling. The framing took basically a whole day, which I did not anticipate. And then after that was done, it took me about 2 days. It probably could have been done quicker if I had any help to like hold those boards up there. But it took me roughly 2 days, not like super long work days. I think maybe 6 hours each day. But yeah, it wasn't a super complicated project. It also was not a super expensive project, shockingly. I got those 10-foot lengths of 3.5 inch wide, 1/4 inch thick cedar from Home Depot in packs of 6. I think I got 3 packs of them, maybe. And then I had the Danish oil that I initially tried to stain them with, and I just wasn't happy with that. So I switched to linseed oil, which I did fortunately, I didn't have to pay for the linseed oil, and my dad just had some. So I paid for the Danish oil, but not the linseed oil. I have no idea how much that costs. Hopefully not expensive. Thanks, Dad. I also didn't have to get a new hole saw for this particular project because my dad already had a 2.5-inch hole saw. If I had to get that, it would have been another like $20 to $25-ish dollars. So all said and done, this project cost me $247.57, bringing my van build total to $3,585.83, running 28 weeks. I will, as always, at the end of this, include a breakdown of everything I bought for this. Anyways, that is it for the ceiling, which is shocking because that, aside from the floor, and that was quite some time ago, is the first thing that is in there that is just the way it's gonna be, the final, how my ceiling is going to look. I can actually see it all coming together, which is so amazing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, as always, if you liked the video, if you have questions, please consider liking, subscribing, leaving me a comment, and following along for next time. Thanks, guys.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go. Oh, we are all